guys, I hope you're doing alright. On this video I'm going to do a book review about The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Now I know I'm so late. Most of you have for sure read the book, and I have had the book for a long time. It was in my shelf, but I don't know, I was like waiting for the perfect moment to read it. Like when I finished that book and I had to pick up another one to read, I looked at my shelf, but The Fault in Our Stars didn't tell me, read me now, so I didn't. And finally, a few days ago, the right time came to read it, so I picked it up and I read it. And despite being late, I'm going to make a book review and my thoughts on this book. First thing I have to say about the book is that I know everyone raves about this book in internet, social networks. Most of people have it as one of their favorite books. It's a bestseller, and I agree that it's a good book, but I have to say I felt a little bit disappointed when I read it. I don't know what I was expecting, but I thought the book was going to be like a bigger thing than what it actually was. I was a bit disappointed, and despite the fact that I really liked the book, it was really entertaining, I don't have it as one of my favorite books. I hope you don't kill me for this, and I'm going to explain you why. Okay, so on basic information, the title is The Fault in Our Stars. The author is John Green. I love John Green. I love a lot of his books. I have read Looking for Alaska, and I have to read Paper Towns, and I love the way he writes. However, this is not one of my favorite books from John Green. The summary that comes here says, despite the tumor-shrinking medical miracle that has bought her a few years, Hazel has never been anything but terminal, her final chapter inscribed upon diagnosis. But when a gorgeous plot twist named Augustus Waters suddenly appears at Cancer Kids Support Group, Hazel's story is about to be completely rewritten. You know, John Green has won a lot of prizes for this book. I have all these post-its here full of that like they indicate quotes I liked in the book. Like I was reading and I said, oh, I love this sentence, and I put a post-it in it so that I could go back whenever I wanted. Yeah, so the book is about Hazel, who has terminal cancer. She goes to support group despite the fact that she doesn't like it a lot. And there she meets Augustus Waters, who is a gorgeous boy. You will fall in love with him, and he really changes her life, her conception of life. And it's a very like beautiful love story, a tragic love story, but I think you can learn a lot from this book, and it's really entertaining. It's like a page turner, and the characters that appear, they are really deep, and you can like analyze a lot of their behavior, lots of things. You can like extract lots of messages and lessons from the book. This book is like full of metaphors. I don't know you, but when I'm reading a book or watching a movie, I love to look for hidden symbols, metaphors, I don't know, allegories. So this book is full of them. Like every sentence, don't think it's there for no reason, because John Green spent 10 years writing this book for something. He thought everything in the book, even the cover, is a metaphor. Even the name of Augustus and Hazel is a metaphor. Everything is a metaphor. Everything means something in the book. So I suggest that while you are reading it, you really look for the deep meaning of everything, because there is one. So yeah, things I might start talking about from now on might be spoilers. So if you haven't read the book, I think very few people haven't read this book, but if you haven't read it, stop watching because there will be spoilers. Okay, so the first thing I loved about the book is that it's beautifully written. Like you keep on turning pages, and despite being written from the point of view of Hazel, a girl, and John Green is a boy, he knew how to write the book from a girl's point of view. He did really good job. I also like that the characters were all coherent. Like I don't like when in books a character does something that doesn't go with his or her personality. I'm like, it's impossible that he or she does this. It's impossible. And in this book that didn't happen. Like everyone acted according to their personalities, and that is something I really like. Perhaps I'm a bit cynical and exaggerated with this, but it's really important for me. As I said before, I love all the metaphors and symbols. I read like every page 3 times to fully understand the deep meaning, and I had a very good time. looking for hidden symbols and metaphors. I liked like the water metaphor. I liked the metaphor of when they were in the plane and Augusta's movie was always forward than Hazel's one. Hazel could never catch him, meaning he was going to die before Hazel. I like the name, that actually the name Hazel is like is in the middle of green and brown. I like all the hidden metaphors and symbols about the book. I think John Green did a really good job like writing all those hidden metaphors. The thing I liked about the book is that it's a book everyone can read, but just a few people can understand the deep meaning of the book. It's a book that everyone can find appealing and interesting. It's a love story, a teenage love story, but I think that just a few people, concretely people that like to read a lot, will be the ones who really get the deep meaning of the story. So I like the fact that it's a book for everyone, but just few people can really understand it. I also did like the fact that the book is very realistic. Like everything that happens is realistic. It's not a classical girl with cancer love story. You know, I like the way, like when they say when someone dies, he suddenly is marvelous and a very good person, despite he or she didn't do anything good in their life. I like that conversations and details that were so realistic, that were not like painted pretty, but they are just like that, and that's how it should be. So John Green didn't like paint everything the color of pink. He showed things like they really are, and I really appreciated that. I also like that the book makes you think. I don't like books that you finish them and are like, okay, another one. I like books that teach you something, that make you think, like make you wonder about the value of life, the value of your family, the value of love, of strength, of bravery. This book really makes you think. I love that. I love that when you finish the book, you really appreciate your life a little bit more, your family, and you wonder about the things you want to do in life, how far you want to go. Like you learn that you can't live just not doing anything. You have to do something. You have to try to be remembered, try to be big, try to change the world. And I really liked that in the book. When I finished the book, I was like, I'm going to be important. I really liked the way the book makes you think. But I know I've said all these good things about the book. The book is magnificent, but I don't know what I was expecting, really. Perhaps the book is perfect, it's just that my expectations were too big. It's just that, I don't know. I finished the book and I cried a lot, but it wasn't like when my best friend read the book, she was like depressed for 5 days. She was like, Augustus, and I cried, but I wasn't depressed, and the book didn't stay with me for a long time. I don't know how to explain it, but the book isn't in my favorite books. What I feel is like, I know what John Green is trying to transmit through the book, but I feel like he doesn't express himself correctly. Like when someone is trying to explain you something and you tell him, I know what you're trying to tell me, but you just don't express it right. That's what I felt. I felt like John Green doesn't make us get the point of the book. It's weird, perhaps I'm crazy and the book is perfect and I am just a stupid bitch insulting this book. But yeah, that's what I felt. Despite this, I really recommend that you read it. I recommend you to read the book principally because it's going to be a classic. Like I'm sure in 100 years, or maybe a little bit less, people will study this book. Like same we study at school Shakespeare or Tolstoy, people will study John Green because he's a genius. He's wondrous, he's marvelous. So I really recommend that you read it, and you will find very nice quotes and you will have a good time reading it. It's not boring or anything, it's a page turner. So I give it 3.5 stars out of 5, and yeah, if you want to read it, I tell you, do so. Like, don't be like disappointed by my opinion or something, because you may think it's the best book ever. Before finishing the book, I wanted to read you a quote in the book that I really like. It's spoiler-free quotes, so don't be panicked. I just thought it was so beautiful. The quote is from when the boys and the girls and Hazel are in support group. It's like a little prayer they say before they start talking about their sickness and everything. They'll say, they'll say, God, I'm a Catholic and I believe in God, so maybe I like this for that reason, but I think everyone can find this nice, beautiful and useful. It says, God grants me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I think this is so true, because you have to know that there are things that you can't change, and you have to know there are things you can change and you must change, but you have to know the difference, because if you try to change things you can't, you will be so frustrated and unhappy. And if you don't try to change things that you actually can, then you will be like wasting your time. So I really like this sentence, and it really makes me think, like, yeah, I want to try to change things I can, accept there are things I cannot change, and I need to have wisdom to know the difference. I really love this quote and I wanted to mention it. I hope you like it too. Okay guys, so this is my overall opinion on The Fault in Our Stars. I hope I did a good job. I'm new to booktube and I'm not like a professional book reviewer. I am constantly watching book reviews to learn how to do them better, but I please ask you to be patient because I need to improve. I'm new to YouTube. I created my channel a few days ago, so if you could please subscribe and help me, I would be very thankful. I hope you like this video and I will see you soon with more videos. Bye guys, have a nice day.